Assalamu alaikum, everybody, and welcome to the Radio Masterclass episode 2, where we're going to discuss show prep, which answers the question, what am I going to say on radio, and delivery styles. So let's start off with delivery styles of radio. Now, every broadcaster has a different style of speaking, and you will speak how it feels natural to you, and sometimes you will put on the radio voice and you will act a certain way, which is both types of broadcasting styles are absolutely correct. There's no incorrect style of broadcasting. Now, depending on the type of show that you actually have on radio or the type of show that you actually intend to do, you will have a different style of broadcasting. And not only does the type of show affect the style of your broadcasting, the nature and type of channel you work for, also what the channel represents, the branding, and also the time of day. I think that's the most important external factor to what kind of broadcasting style you're going to have. Let me give you an example. The guys in the morning are always very chipper and very pert and very alert, and they will be very loud. And that's a delivery style or a style of broadcasting that many broadcasters have when they're hosting a breakfast show. Now, people in the afternoon might be a little bit more mellow. Guys like me are just all over the place. We are scattered. Don't take me as a good example of a broadcaster. But then there'll be guys or girls late at night who are very relaxed and have a delivery style which is very, आइए आपको आज शाम की ग़ज़ल सुनाते हैं, stuff like that. And it's a style that you might want to develop according to those three factors that we just discussed. Because somebody who's crazy and full of energy is not going to work at midnight or 1 in the morning. वो काम नहीं चलेगा. And of course, vice versa. If you are very laid back and relaxed and you have a delivery style which is very slow and calm and soothing, वो सुबह नहीं चलेगा. लोग कहेंगे यार ये क्या हमें सुलाने आया या जगाने आया क्या? So the audience expectation will drive your delivery style. There's many different delivery styles you can adopt. Now, getting to the different type of shows, there's more types of shows other than morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime. There are different subjects. For instance, there are serious shows about maybe politics, and maybe about healthcare or the environment or some serious subjects like education or topics, and you might be wanting to educate people. So the delivery style you'll adopt will be one which is more serious, has a more serious nature, and will be more professional. So you'll have a very professional tone in terms of your words and your sentences and your delivery, saying, today we're going to talk about climate change, right? Rather than, as opposed to a delivery style, hey man, let's talk about climate change. So there's a difference. You want to be taken seriously, so your delivery will be very serious as well. Sometimes, let me go on with a few more examples. There might be sports news and sportscasters, which will always have a above and beyond style, and they'll be a little bit, more excited than the rest of the presentation styles or the delivery styles of radio that you might have, right? And then there's the newscasting style. Newscasting style is very obvious. You've heard it before and there's different types of newscasting styles as well. I don't want to go into them, but then there's like the Geo style, and then there's like the PTV style, and then there's a CNN style, and then there's a very BBC style, there's a Deutsche World style, which is so cool. I like that one. So, you could, if you're doing, news bulletins or updates, you're going to have to fit into a specific type of delivery, especially when it comes to news. That's a little bit more difficult. It's something which is acquired. You have to learn that. And the only way I think you can learn is by listening to other broadcasters and adopt one of the nice styles that you want. And of course, the style of the presentation of the delivery will also be driven by your channel's brand. Because I don't know if you've noticed this, but a channel will sound consistent throughout. All their presenters will have commonalities. They won't be too far apart. And the management or, makes sure that those, the same type of people fit in, or, they have the same guidelines or the same direction. And plus, it's also a very natural way that जब आप किसी channel में जाते हैं and everyone's speaking a certain way on a channel, you start speaking that way as well. And that's something driven by many different factors. Let's not get into that. Okay, during this masterclass, feel free to ask any questions you may have, and I'm just going to turn the video on, and I will answer them at the end of this masterclass, which is a duration of 30 minutes. Now, to our next topic. Our next topic is show prep. What is show prep? Show prep is show preparation, and it answers a question. The question it answers is, what am I going to say on my show? What am I going to say next on my show? So, show preparation is the thought process before you actually start speaking on radio and what you're going to talk about. जिस तरह के आपको लोग बताते हैं when you listen to radio, तो लोग कहते हैं, specifically कहते हैं, आज का topic है. So that's show prep. Where do you get that topic from? So the show topics show prep comes from life and what you experience, what's going on in your community, in your city, in your province, in your region, in your country, and around the world. And of course, you're going to be talking about what is relevant to your audience, what you think they will appreciate, or what they have been talking about, or what you want to talk about with them. And the topics that you will have will probably mostly be regurgitated topics that people are already talking about in the news, or, वैसे generally in life, okay? For example, अगर election एक हफ्ते में आ रहा है, so everyone's going to be talking about elections, and if you pick up that topic, you are being a follower in terms of that. Then there's show prep where you want to lead. That's a little bit more difficult. 90% is following, 10% is leading, and that's where the tips and tricks I'm going to give you in a little bit will actually come in handy. Show prep comes from observation. Observe the world around you. Read newspapers, read magazines, talk to people, get input from them in your daily life, and jot this stuff down. I'll show you how to jot this stuff down. I'll show you an example as well. Also, read the internet. What's going on Facebook? What's going on Twitter? What's going on Instagram? What's happening on Snapchat? All right? And try to fit in and gather all the sources of information and gather the information you require to create the show prep, which will enable you to answer the question, what am I going to talk about next? Because that is the most daunting challenge a radio broadcaster can have. Ab kya baat kare? Gana khatam ho raha hai, kya baat kare? You have to have all of this prepared in advance. Show prep doesn't happen at a specific time. For me, for professional broadcasters around the world, it happens every single living, waking moment of their lives. From the time they wake up to the time they go to sleep, they're prepping their next show, next day, next couple of days, next week, next month. Any ideas they might have, they're going and they're jotting them down. I like to jot down all my show prep on my phone or my iPad or my Mac or my laptop right here, or my studio desktop on Apple Notes. Because I type it, on my phone, it'll come up on my desktop, on my laptop, at work, in the studio, because I take my iPad to the studio, so it'll be there. So whatever I write down, whatever thought I have, I'll be able to relay it and use it as material for my show. If you're not on, 10 years ago, I wasn't on the Mac platform, so I used Evernote. And now Microsoft has OneNote that you can, use, and that's how I jot down. और उससे पहले computers के दौर से पहले मैं diary लिखता था. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. writing is a very important part of radio broadcasting. So when it comes to show prep, you need to formulate and actually systematically format the preparation of your material for your show. The way I do that is physically with a spreadsheet. And I want to show that spreadsheet to you right now. I've been using this since I think 2012, and the copy I have, one copy I have from 2014, and this is the latest copy I have, and I'll explain it to you what it actually is. And basically it is, I write on one column I write the time of my show. Like for instance, अगर आपका show सुबह 8 बजे है, तो I write 8 a.m., 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, 9 o'clock. All the times that you're going to be talking, okay? And then I write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in the next columns. और 7 कॉलम बनते जाते हैं Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, और फिर मैं साथ में लिखता हूँ कि आगे मैंने क्या करना है. I hope you can see this. I don't know, this is gonna look really weird, and I've got a delay. Can you see this? Okay. Maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. I don't know. अभी मैं देखता हूँ वीडियो पे क्या हो रहा है. So I write down what I'm going to say at 5:05, what I'm going to say at 5:20, what I'm going to do at 5:25, what I'm going to do at 5:50, what I'm going to do at 6 o'clock, 6:25, 7 o'clock, and that. Now, the bottom part is I have this. नहीं, इतनी अच्छी तस्वीर नहीं आई. Maybe I'll use this paper instead. Then I have 2 columns. One is time and one is a space for comments. And I'll show you that. And I fill that out, I type it out, and then I have it with me on my iPad. So the top part is my show on the time and then the days. And this is my talk topics on the bottom with the time and what I'm going to say. And moving on to the next page, कि जी मैं ये सारी बातें करूँगा, ठीक है? This is actually what I do, okay? And I can show you today's notes as well on my phone or wherever. I'm going to show you my notes real quick, just as an example. And I have several notes. For example, for one segment मैंने अलग एक note बनाया हुआ है. For a different segment मैंने एक अलग note बनाया हुआ है. This is my daily script. So, पता नहीं नजर आ रहा है आपको कि नहीं, and you know I write all this stuff down and blah blah blah, ठीक है? And then I have like Tech Tuesday and I have saved these links. ये मैं अगले show में ये बातें करूँगा, okay? So, show prep starts with observation, noting your observations down, reading the newspaper, reading magazines, reading Facebook, reading Twitter, reading social media. I use Flipboard a lot for show prep, okay? And I gather Google News, Apple News. These are great services. Accumulate all the gossip from the celebrity, Hollywood, what's happening in the Oscars, Grammy Awards, blah, 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 music. Anything that your show is related to, get that information, write it down all day. अपने साथ रखें, phone में ना साथ लिखते जाएं. And then the next day or the next week when you're ready for your show, you can format it down. And I think every broadcaster should format their show because it's very important to know what to do, what to say, and when to say it. Now, I have a 3-hour show, and I segment my 3 hours into 3 different 1 hours. And I talk about something different in the first hour, and I talk about something different in the second hour, or I do something different in the second hour, and I do something different in the third hour. Why do I do that? No one will start listening to your show at the time that you start. The world doesn't revolve around you. The listener's world revolves around the listener's world. If the listener gets in the car at 2:25 p.m., turns the radio on, and starts listening to you at 2:25 p.m., you might be halfway through your show. He or she, the listener, does not know that. वो तो वही सुनेंगे ना जो आप उस वक्त कह रहे हैं. So that's why every single time you talk on the radio, someone is listening to you for the first time. वो आपको 5 मिनट सुनेंगे, 10 मिनट सुनेंगे, 20 मिनट सुनेंगे, on average 20 minutes. Okay? If they listen to you for the whole hour, wow. If they listen to you for 2 hours, oh my God, I can't believe it. If somebody listens to you for 3 hours, they are your die-hard fan. और बड़े लोग हैं ऐसे जो सुनते हैं आपको पूरा 3 घंटे सुनते हैं. But you have to cater to everyone. वो जो listener ने picked you up in the middle of the show, in the beginning of the show, at the end of the show, they don't know what's going on. Like you might say, ha ha, that's very funny, and but they won't know what the joke is because you probably talked about it before the song. Okay, so show prep is very important in terms of that you have to divide your 1 hour show, 2 hour show, 3 hour show into segments because of that particular reason. Okay, so I'm giving you tips and tricks of what I do, but it'll be different in every scenario. You might have a show which is not as long as mine. So if it's 1 hour, okay, just continue with one thing and one, show prep and just do that and that'll be fine. But if you have longer shows, like a 2 hour show, you have to break it apart in at least 3 or 4 segments, or maybe at least minimum 2 segments, okay? And then show prep, and then again, I'm just repeating myself, write it down, and then know exactly what you're gonna say and when you want to say it. You can't just go at random, you just can't sit down in front of a microphone and say, hey man, I'm here and now let's see what I'm gonna do. I sit down 1 hour before the show, half an hour before the show. I have all of this stuff written down during the day. ठीक है, अभी रात हो गई है, 9:30 हो चुके हैं. And I've started writing stuff down for my next episode of radio, for my next episode on YouTube, for my next week's show. अच्छा, मेरा अगला artist कौन होगा? I've already started deciding all these things. That's where show prep is so important in having a successful radio broadcasting career. If you're not in radio, you should know this. If you are in radio, you should know this. If you're a master, a pro at radio, you already know this, but this is a good refresher for you. Okay? Now, I want to touch upon delivery styles just a little bit with, I want to give you some tips with an actual microphone. This is a microphone I paid $200 for 12, 13 years ago. Okay? This is a very good M Audio Luna cardioid condenser microphone. Its polar pattern is like this in front of it and a little bit behind it, so it'll only pick up sounds which are about this far away. And this is a normal voiceover or a broadcasting microphone that you might use. You might use a dynamic microphone. In this microphone, the difference between a cardioid microphone and a dynamic microphone is, in a dynamic microphone, you have to speak straight into it. In a cardioid microphone, you can actually tilt your head just a little bit and it'll still pick up your voice. We have these kind of microphones in our studios. You probably will have one as well. And when you have a delivery style, we talked about delivery styles at the beginning of the video. If you're that morning zany person guy and you've got a hyped up, energetic style of delivery, then your mic placement won't be the normal mic placement. The normal mic placement is this far away. So you speak this far away, okay? When you're loud, like a breakfast show host, or in the morning time, or you're pumping up the crowd, that will cause a lot of popping. When you say P or the word sound, a ba sound, or a pa sound, it creates a shock wave which will hit the microphone, a blasting hogi, and you want to stay away from blasting. So what you do is you step away and say, "Good morning, Vietnam!" And so you tilt your head a little way, like Robin Williams does, and today we're going to be talking about the DMZ. The DMZ, yeah, the DMZ. What's happening in the DMZ? And whatever he says, right? So what you want to do is you want to play with the direction you're speaking in if you're very, very loud and very energetic. And that's where to have, like, you should, keep moving from, well, not too much. You want to get your sound very clearly, But I will, in fact, utilize the microphone to give a three-dimensional effect as well. For instance, if I want to whisper something to you and maintain the level, I'll come in a little closer and say, "Did you hear about Beyonce?" And I'll speak like that just to create an effect. Or, "Oops, I dropped my pencil on the floor. Let me get it." And that's what I'll do. That's crazy stuff I'll do. But if your delivery style is a more newscaster, serious person, and you want to get that deep voice out, okay? So you might want to be just a tad little closer and point the microphone towards your chest while speaking and say, "जी हाँ दोस्तों, आज शाम की ग़ज़ल आपके नाम." Kind of corny, cheesy stuff like that. You want to get closer to the microphone, get intimate to it, but not too close because you're going to start exploding or plopping or exploding or blasting. Now, one way to not blast is to be very soft on your P's and B's. Is very, very hard. What I tend to do is when I hear or I need to say a P word or B word, I say pantomime. I quickly shift my head to the right where the explosive waves will carry away from the microphone and come back. For instance, "Man, did you hear about this baseball happening? This baseball event happening in Karachi? It's really awesome. It's at the Pacific West corner of, South, Pulmonal Street." I mean, I'm just making up words now. But you understand that you will have to just quickly move in terms of the P's and the B's. Just, move away from the microphone so it doesn't explode. So that'll help you in your different delivery styles. Now, let's talk about personal experience. Most delivery styles are fake. They're the radio voice, like, "जी हाँ दोस्तों, आज का टॉपिक है बसंत मनानी चाहिए कि नहीं? ये मैं तो समझता हूँ कि बसंत होनी." It's all fake, right? You don't talk like that in normal life. I like to speak the way I am. I like to bring the natural part of me out and exaggerate my naturalness. Do you understand that? I don't know, it's a hard concept to understand, but I'd like to be fake, but as naturally fake as possible. Does that make sense to you? Okay, not bilkul normal nahi hu, theek hai, but I try to be as natural as possible and make sure I stress words where needed. Okay, it doesn't work for every format, and it doesn't work for everyone, and I'm not imposing this on you. Okay, but I honestly like listening to people who are normal and natural, and who like to talk to me in a way that, जिस तरह मैं उनके सामने बैठा हूँ. That is a tip and a trick that I'm going to give you today. If you want a very good delivery style on radio, talk to somebody like वो आपके सामने बैठे हैं, जिस तरह आप मेरे सामने अभी बैठे हैं और आप सुन रहे हैं मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ. Talk like that. Don't talk like unnaturally. I find it really weird. Here's another thing you shouldn't do in your delivery style. वो म्यूजिक चल रहा है और हम सुनेंगे आज का क्या. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. Do not sing over the songs. No, don't. कतन नहीं करनी आपने, ठीक है? Now, so that's show prep for you, and that is delivery styles for you on today's masterclass. Let's see if you have any questions. Oh, बड़े question आया भाई. Okay. Asad Iqbal says, "How to make my voice appealing." The way you make your voice appealing is practicing a different way of speaking. No, you practice correct enunciation, correct pronunciation of words, and you linger on them and you make the words come to life. That's how you make your voice appealing. For example, ooh, it's very cold today, as opposed to it's very cold today. It's very cold today. Oh, it's so hot, as opposed to it's so hot, it's so hot, it's so hot, it's so hot, man. That's how you make your voice appealing. Or that trick I told you, you get close to the microphone and say, and you make love to the microphone and say, oh, mon chéri, comment ça va? Ça va bien? Ooh la la. Okay, don't do that, but still, that's how you make your voice appealing. Next question. Ahmad Junaid says, do you have any podcasts? Yes. Go to soundcloud.com/cityfm89. My citycasts are all on the SoundCloud CityFM89 page, and you can find all my podcasts or the shows or the previous, interviews and stuff we've done for CityFM89 there. Okay? RJ Ux. RJ Ux is a great voice artist, and she's a great broadcaster, and she's a constant listener as well, and I appreciate her involvement in almost everything I do. She has a question or a comment. Nowadays, RJs don't prepare their shows and then fumble too much. So show prep answers the question, what are you going to say next? If you don't know what you're going to say next, don't go on air. अगर आपको नहीं पता कि आप क्या कहने जा रहे हैं या क्या कहेंगे, don't say anything. As my late friend used to say, अगर कोई बात करने को नहीं है तो फिर वो शाजिया का गाना है ना, गाना पे गाना, गाना ना ना, गाने पे गाना, गाना एक और लगा दो, until you figure out what to say. All right? Rafi Halim says, where do you get your suits made? ये नेक्स्ट का सूट है जी. ये मैंने बहुत अर्सा पहले लिया था और वैसे रेडियो के लिए सूट की ज़रूरत होती नहीं है, मगर फिर भी मैं रेडियो स्टेशन चला जाता हूँ सूट पहन के. एक बंदे ने ये कह भी दिया और पैन सूट पा के टाई पा के आ गया. Who was it? बम्बू सॉस कहते हैं टाई पा के आ गया रेडियो. किसी ने तो उन्हें तकना ही नहीं है. All right. Sorry, I should not deviate. एक एपिसोड में बस आप सब की नकलें कीजिएगा. You are really good at it. Okay, I'll try to do a parody. Ahmad Junaid, you have really nice accent. Gora style, Urdu full Desi style. बस जी अल्लाह ताला की देन है. RJ Ux, when I started radio, I did that dishku in my show. बाद में मैंने control कर लिया था. Okay, let me tell you another tip. And oops, sorry about the video. Oh, sorry, मेरा हाथ लग गया था. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so let me tell you about another part about radio styles which I forgot to mention. If you notice me, I don't use background music. As soon as the music stops or as the song is fading away, the last 10 seconds of the song, I slowly continue to come and I do my back sell. What is a back sell? I'll tell you what the back sell is in the next episode, okay? And I'll tell you how to segment a link. But I don't use a background music. I very rarely use background music. If you are using background music, कोई हर्ज नहीं है. I will tell you the proper way to use background music. गाना चल रहा है इस वॉल्यूम पे, ठीक है? जब गाना खत्म हो रहा है तो आप अपना बैकग्राउंड फेड करेंगे उस लेवल तक जहां पे गाना था. Then if you want to wait between 4 and 10 seconds and then fade out and come and start talking over your background and fade it to 2 or 3. ठीक है? बिल्कुल नीचे तक ले आए. बैकग्राउंड इतना सा होना चाहिए, आपकी आवाज इतनी होनी चाहिए. ठीक है? And don't touch the background ever again. उसको नीचे करके भूल जाए. अगर आपको सांस लेना है, आप पॉज लेके सांस ले लें. Like, okay, moving on. Simple as that. कोई बात नहीं. सांस लेने के लिए आपको बैकग्राउंड ऊपर नहीं करना चाहिए. ठीक है? And then finish the background and slowly fade in the song. I'll give you a whole tuition on this in my studio in the next episode, in the next coming episodes, okay? I don't use a background at all. Try it. You know, you'll sound way better. Okay, let's go to your questions again. What would you say is the most effective formula for creating a lasting effect on your listeners? Does a catchphrase always help? A lasting impression on your listener will only be made when you speak about what's important to the listener and not important to you. If you connect with the listener saying, hey man, remember that time when your mom washed your pants और उसमें से वो 100 रुपए का नोट निकल आया था, कितना मजा आया था, and somebody can relate to that, that's when you're going to be memorable. People are going to say, oh man, that guy knows exactly what I was thinking, exactly what I was talking about. RJs use catchphrases, and they're great. I use one sometimes. I used to use one all the time. It's part of your personality and part of your identity, whatever you make of it. If it comes natural to you, go ahead. If it doesn't come natural to you, don't force it. How you made your accent so good. ये मेरे भाई जहान खुरम, ये अल्लाह ताला की देन है. ये accent बनाया जा सकता है, but practice से, but ज़रूरी नहीं है. जो भी आपका accent है, आप उसी में बात करें तो बेहतर है. I think that's it for the questions. So today we covered show prep, delivery styles, and some tips and tricks. And next Thursday, we're going to be covering more topics on the Radio Masterclass. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at wes@wesmalik.com. Thank you so much for constant viewership and your constant listenership. I thank you so much for that. I'll talk to you in the next video.